Okay, I gotta revisit this term that that a lot of people run from, called the term that we refer to as a person. Okay, before I get started, please hit the like button, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all saying to hit that real quick. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. and if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe now, because I got a lot more stuff to go. I've been doing this almost 10 years now, and I can't stop talking about this stuff. So I want to keep dropping information, and I don't want y'all to miss none of it, okay? We're going to talk about the term person again. I got to revisit it so y'all can help. I can help y'all understand. And I'm going to tie this into what I just did last few videos that I've actually, recorded, talking about, the power of attorney, okay? So I'm going to tie this in. So stay tuned to the end, all the way to the end, so you can get what I'm talking about. But I'm going to be mainly revisiting the term person, okay? Because you need to understand that when you walk in a commercial setting, keep in mind all crimes are commercial. Anytime you're in the courtroom, they're at work. They are at work. They are on the job. Okay, they're in a commercial setting. So you walk in there. If you walk in there, you need to be prepared to work. So you can't walk in there saying I'm the living man, because you're in your private capacity at that point. You're in there as a man. Or as a woman, for the women that are watching this, a living man cannot walk in there in a commercial, operate in a commercial setting. You have to, when you walk in there, you need to be walking in there with a commercial hat on. What I mean by a hat, it could be grantor, that's a commercial. Beneficiary, an attorney, a social worker, a judge, a clerk. Manager, supervisor, all those things. Those are titles. Those are titles that people use, that living men and women have to put on in their private capacity. They got to put it on in order to step in to the matrix. That is the commercial, right? In this commercial setting. So you can't walk in there operating, talking about I'm the living man, and you in your private capacity, and they're supposed to respect you as a living man. You standing in front of them. You interfering with their work. So when you in there and you stay there, and that name is on that docket, you need to be in that commercial capacity when you're operating with these people. Now that leads me to my point about the term person. When they refer to you as a person in there, they're talking about some type of commercial person. Now there are only two sets of persons. Remember, I said that in the previous videos. You might can go back way back in my history and see where I talked about a person, a natural person versus an artificial person. Now I'm gonna take y'all to California probate state. I'm gonna take y'all to their to the laws or whatever. Let me see. I'm gonna use Georgia because I can navigate Georgia too easy. Okay, I'm gonna show y'all. It says different types of persons, and I'm gonna show y'all something. Here we go. Right here it says let's see, corporations say persons and their rights. Let me come down some. Persons and their rights, classes of persons, okay? So you understand classes of persons. It says generally, it says natural persons. So you understand what they mean when they talk about natural persons. Corporations deemed artificial persons. Nature of corporations generally. Now, read this right here. I'm going to try to make sure I'm reading it without moving the screen. I want y'all to understand, see it while I'm reading on my laptop. There are two classes of persons, natural and artificial. You'll find that even in the Black's Law's dictionary. I've showed that in the previous video. Natural person means any human being, including an unborn child. Okay? Corporations are artificial persons. They are creatures of the law. Say they are creatures of the law, and except insofar as the law forbids, they are subject to be changed, modified, or destroyed at the will of their creator. Okay, that would be the living man or woman who actually creates it, or in the commercial language, natural person. Okay, keep in mind this is all commercial language, so they're not going to always say a living man. They don't always do that. In most cases, they're going to say person or a natural person. Okay, and keep in mind this is the definitions area of this code. Every code, every title or whatever, they all have the areas where they define their words. Okay, so that you understand there's a meeting of the minds as to what they mean when they use their terms. Okay, let's move on. D, unless otherwise provided by law, any natural person, including an unborn child, with a detectable human heartbeat shall be included in population-based determinations. Okay? As in E right now, see, a living man or woman has a human heartbeat. We got heartbeats when we're first born. From the moment of conception, and that there's a heartbeat there, now you're considered a person, a natural person. Okay? As used in the commercial world, that is. That's how the language is spoken. As used in the code section, in this code section, the term detectable human heartbeat means embryonic or fetal cardiac activity, or the steady and repetitive rhythmic contraction of the heart within the gestational sac. So you already know this is, as y'all can see. And I say unborn child means a member. See, they make you so you understand what they mean when they say these things. Unborn child means a member of the species Homo Sapiens at any stage of development who is carried in the womb. Okay, what womb? We ain't talking about no artificial womb. We talking about the woman's womb. Okay, now for you that want to talk about the Homo Sapiens, because y'all a lot of times you all people want to challenge what they mean by the term Homo Sapien. Let's do that then. This is Black's Law Dictionary right here, 2nd edition. Okay, I'm also look this up, show y'all what it says in the in another. Anyway, just follow me. First thing it says is a man. See, the term right there, homo means a man, a human being, male or female, vassal, not vessel, but vassal, or feudal tenant. I think that's a typo. It says a retainer, dependent, or servant. But as you can see yourself, that's the definition of a Homo sapien. Now, I want to part. Before I go to my other part, I'm gonna show y'all in the Black's Law Dictionary what it says, a deeper meaning, or how it goes into about the term Homo sapien. Okay, because when it's speaking Homo itself, it's speaking about a man. Homo sapien is either man or woman. So they've been making, that's why they say Homo sapiens, because it's including a woman. Remember back in the days, for the most part, women didn't have rights back in the days. I don't know, maybe they changed it because of that. I don't know. But they added sapien. Homo sapien includes man and woman. Now I'm going to show y'all that, so y'all don't think I'm just making up shit as I go. Here we go. 2009 Black's Law Dictionary. This is the 9th edition right here. Homo right here. It says a male human. What's that? Let me get my thing together. Here we go. A male human. That's what homo means. And as you see right here, the second definition, as y'all know, when you see 1, 2, 3, and 4 of those definitions, they expand. They stretch out. They expand on meanings as the years go by, the generations, that things go, as society starts to change in their understanding on these terms. Now, a Homo sapiens, a human being of either sex, okay? That's man or woman, okay? A slave, it says a slave right here. That's another definition. Oh, a slave, a vassal, a feudal tenant, a retainer. And see, now some of you want to hold on to this here and say, oh, you're a slave. You're trying to say you're a slave. Some of you just don't want to be free because you just want to stick on find any words to find yourself hung up in your mind. See, because they even talk about a retainer, dependent, or a servant. Keep in mind, this was, there were slaves back in the days when they were using these terms. So it still make them a home. There were male humans that were also slaves. Okay, so you don't want to be so stuck on using that in 2023, talking about you slave because you're allowing them to call you refer to you as a Homo sapien, but or a homo or whatever. But anyway, I'm trying to bring some clarity as to what they mean by these terms. Okay, so and then I'm gonna bring y'all to my main point as to why I'm making this video. Also, let me see if I can back up. Nope, not right here. I also want to say this is the Black's Law Dictionary 1933, 3rd edition. As you see this term person, the first thing they start out with saying a man considered according to the rank he holds in society with all the rights to which the place he holds entitles him, and the duties which it imposes. That's what I mean by, when you in the commercial setting and you have your rank on, that might be your title, your rank, meaning like your commercial hat, like I just described as your commercial hat that comes with duties. You have duties, and you have duties when you're operating your commercial setting. You have duties that actually rights and duties that you have to enforce or operate in when you're operating with that rank. So that's why when you walk in a courtroom, you're dealing, when you're conducting business. It ain't got to be just court. Anything in the realm of business, because the court is business too. Okay, anything in the realm of business, you're operating some type of way with some type of in a commercial capacity, and you're using a rank of some sort, whether it's a manager, supervisor, cashier, that's commercial, a grantor, beneficiary, supervisor, CEO, and so forth. All these different titles that people may hold when they're at work, when they're doing business. They ain't got to be working a 9 to 5 to be doing business. You can do business and not be working 9 to 5. So don't be caught up on just working a 9 to 5. But that's what I'm trying to help you understand. That's the commercial term they're going to use when you're operating their commercial capacity. And if you see right here, you see this term right here, it goes all the way down, all down here. 2 pages. It's so broad. They touch, and so it's such a broad term. It doesn't just have one setting. They help you. They went into grave detail to help you understand what they're saying when they're talking about a person. Okay. I don't want to go through this whole thing, not on this video right here. But I will read a few things. Just a few spots here and there. Say it has been held that when the word person is used, you see right here, is used in a legislative act, a natural person will be intended unless something appear in the context to show that it implies to an artificial person. And that is the case law right there. So it's like they use it interchangeably. They use it as a word that could mean either or. It depends. That's why you have to read the definitions area of your statutes to understand what they're saying and what they mean when they say those things. I'm gonna read one more little spot right here. A person is let's see. Yeah, a person is such, not because he is human, but because rights and duties are ascribed to him. You see that right there. Because rights and duties are ascribed to him. The person is the legal subject or substance of which the rights and duties are attributes. Okay, and what's to say? An individual human being considered as having such attributes is what lawyers call a natural person. Okay, that's why we tell you they're in the commercial world. So they use natural person. Sometimes they just use person, but it's all about how they're using it and what they're using. It don't necessarily, by default, they're calling you a legal fiction. They're calling you a dead entity. It don't mean that in all cases. So it's not implied in all cases. So that's why it's good, even in your paperwork, it's good to always make clear in your paperwork what role are you playing in this game, okay? Because you're gonna be playing the game by default in some case. So you got to know what role you're playing in that game. Just like you see on an attorney's paper, they write on their attorney at law or attorney or whatever, or counsel, write out a comma after their name. They're letting you know what role they're playing in this commercial game. So you got to do the same thing. You don't just sign your name and then there's nothing to distinguish what role you're playing. Put a comma after that and put your title. What title are you playing? So we'll know what kind of person you're operating as. Now, my main point when it comes to the power of attorney. Okay, I'm gonna use California this time. I found this flipped it around the wrong way. Okay, I found it. Here we go. I find this in every single one of these. Every time I look up this term in the definitions area, as you see, this the definitions part of this code. When it talks about a power of attorney, it's a written instrument. It's a written instrument, however denominated, is executed by a natural person, which means in the commercial term, it lets you know a living man has wrote that. A living man. That goes back, it's having the capacity to contract and we have the freedom to do, have the capacity to contract, and that grants authority to an attorney. In fact, the power of attorney may be durable or non-durable. Okay. Now, see right here, principle right here. Principle means a natural person who executes a power of attorney. Okay, you notice they keep using the word natural person. Now, next term. Okay, right here, attorney in fact. See, you notice they start out with saying a person, and they already defined to you what a person is. Attorney in fact means a person granted authority to act for the principal. They even told you what a principal was. I just showed you that. In a power of attorney, regardless of whether the person is known as an attorney in fact or agent or by some other term. See, attorney in fact includes successor or alternate power of attorney, and a person delegated authority by an attorney in fact. See, so you see for yourself that these things are actually these are people. These are actual people, living beings that are actually operating in their commercial capacity to do certain things that they're doing. You know, like as you see, attorney in fact, could be a social worker. Like say for instance, you get your wages garnished from a child support case. Say the judge already signed the order, and now the attorney, the baby mama's attorney can use that order to basically delegate authority to HR to garnish your wages. These people are operating as attorney in facts. They're actually delegating authority to other individuals to operate. And it says rather not they even being called. They don't have to be called an attorney in fact in order to be operating as such. So I'm just kind of showing you that these are people in the commercial capacity that are doing these things. Now, I brought that up because of the fact that it goes back to the presumption of death as well. So when you execute a power of attorney, you're rebutting the presumption of death as well, because you've been missing this whole time. Remember that word incapacity that I showed y'all in previous videos? You're not only you're in the state of incapacity when you're first born, but you haven't responded about no kind of this power that they've been exercising against you, on your behalf, all your life when it comes in. But you also been missing because you never rebutted this. You never revoked their power with nothing in writing, nothing whatsoever. So you're missing. And until you revoke it, meaning also in the commercial world, you coming alive because you're proving as a living man with a power of attorney or real revocation of power of attorney. These things can only be done by natural persons. Okay, as the commercial term, as the commercial language speaks. So when you come alive and you revoke their power of attorney, that they know that a power of attorney can only be done by a natural person, which is the same thing as a living man, but you're in your commercial capacity, which is a natural person. You're invoking that. So you being alive and you invoking your rights in the commercial realm is what helps you get take your power back. So you're rebutting the presumption of death when you do these things, when you do the power of attorney and you record these things. Now, you don't even have to record them, because I noticed in some states, I think I made my point clear on that. Hopefully y'all understand where I'm coming from with that. Now, so you rebut the presumption of death when you do that, okay? And you're also taking back, you're revoking, revoking their power of attorney that they've been using against you most of your life, all your life from birth. But now you're actually invoking your own power, and now you're able to stand on your own. Now, the thing, when it comes to, I was thinking it was something else I was speaking about. Guys, I should have kept talking. It'll come to me in a second. Yeah, that's right. In some states, you don't have to record it. Here in Georgia, I showed y'all in that 45-minute video. I named it where does the power come from? Go back and watch that video. I think it's a very important video. It's full of information, and you really need to see that video to see exactly how they're able to do what they're doing to you. But I saw and I've spoken to a few people that are moving on this, and in their state, like today, a guy called me and he was like, they wouldn't record my power of attorney, my revocation of power of attorney in the county recorder's office today. And he was in Virginia. He was in the state of Virginia. And I looked up his state, the state statutes in his state, and it speaks about they have to be served. Yes, they have to be served, but it don't say anything about them having to record it in the county recorder's office. Recorded, filing with the secretary, with the county clerk, the county clerk. It didn't say anything about them having to record it. So he's just going to use it by putting it in his court case. You know what I'm saying? So not all states are requiring you to record it. Okay, so in the county records. So always be mindful of that. I always tell everybody to look in your state statutes to see exactly what it says about revoking a power of attorney and the proper process that your state tells you to do it with. Do it with the way your state shows you to do it, because every jurisdiction is different. Everybody do things differently. Keep in mind, just like cannabis is legal in law in Nevada, we can't do that in Georgia yet. You know what I'm saying? So because it's two different jurisdictions. Just most of the laws are similar, but they all have their own processes. So look into your laws and understand what they're saying and get clarity. So there'll be a meeting of the minds when you're moving on this stuff. All right, y'all. If you haven't subscribed in the beginning, go ahead and do that now. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't done it already in the beginning of this video. And I will see y'all in the next video. I got so much more I want to talk about. So let's keep going. See y'all in the next video. Emerald signing out.